Hampshire. You had an awesome supercross season. There were some really ups and downs, but like some incredible rides. Like, how does that position you into this year's motocross or outdoor season?
Yeah, Supercross was, everyone can tell, there's a lot of ups, a lot of downs. But we made a lot of progress, I feel like, towards the end of the season with the bike, myself, the team. And we had a lot of new faces come in to the team, you know, the employee side at the beginning of the season. So it kind of took a little bit to kind of gel with everybody. And I feel like, you know, the team's in a really good spot. I have a good relationship with everyone on there. And I truly think this bike's, you know, I'm at a good base for outdoors, so I'm excited to get racing.
So obviously it's an all-new bike this year. Is there a certain level of excitement about that like you get to try new stuff, or is it kind of like a little nerves of like, okay, I haven't raced this outdoors yet?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of both. Like I said, I've been in it long enough to kind of tell that we have a pretty good bike going into this outdoors. I knew where we were a little bit behind coming into Supercross, just on the comfort side and not having that much parts to kind of go through and stuff like that. I actually spent some time on the 450 also, so man, I'm excited. I really think this bike's gonna be awesome, and man, I feel good coming into the season.
So I think we saw you on the 450 at Glen Helen. Was there, any reason other than just mixing it up?
Yeah, man, I was a 450 guy for about 4 days. That was the plan. We were set on going racing. The Malcolm news came out, and I got the call, and they're like, "Man, would you be interested in 100%?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's go." And then came out to California, tested the first time. Like, I rode Malcolm's bike, and it wasn't even my setup, and felt good on it back in Florida. So I'm like, "Hey, let's come out, do some testing." And tested Monday, Tuesday at Glen Helen and felt awesome. Like, felt really good, had good speed, and did a moto at the end of Tuesday, and Nate and all of us were like, dude, that's it. We're going racing on the 450. Like, I'm solid, good to go. But we brought my 250 out that day, just to kind of make sure that was the plan. And so end of the day, Glen Helen, Tuesday, I hopped back on my 250 and haven't even done testing on it or anything. And within 4 laps, I was pretty much the same speed on my 250 and kind of made a whole group decision. Got Austria involved a little bit, and same with Roger and Ian. And we all just kind of felt like, look, we'll have next year to get that 450, give it a shot. But let's try to, be battling for this championship on the 250, and they're going to get more out of it with me battling for a championship on the 250 than kind of so many question marks still on the 450. Like I said, I was riding it really well and felt awesome on it. It's a good opportunity. I kind of showed my value a little bit on that, which was cool. And yeah, just kind of glad that we kind of all made a kind of group decision on it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool to have almost that in your back pocket of like, when you know that it's time to hop on that 450, you're like, yeah, it already feels good.
Yeah, exactly. And I spent some time on it last off season. And Alden was kind of worried about me going to it also. And they're like, man, like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But my whole amateur career, I rode a 450 really well. So I kind of knew, like, it would gel pretty good. And as soon as I got on this, Husqvarna, it was, man, I felt really good. It actually calmed me down a lot, which is surprising. Just having, the power and being able to ride it different. Like, whenever you see me ride a 450, it doesn't even, I know for myself, it doesn't even feel like the same person. And that's kind of what the whole team says. Like, when you're watching, like, it doesn't even look like the same guy on the track. So a lot of excitement kind of moving forward. And who knows, with this 450 option, if could really kind of get some things going.
So, it's not really a break. We call it a break. It was a couple weekends off, but so like going into the outdoors, did you do anything different for prep, or is it like you've been riding outdoors for a while, getting ready?
We didn't ride outdoors too much during Supercross. We were so focused on trying to, make progress on this 250. I'd say the last 2 weeks I spent outdoors, and man, I just tried to do as many motos as I could before I came out here, and then went up to Panama City or Rosemary Beach there for the weekend and kind of enjoyed a little relax, and then went straight to California. Like, I've been testing all last week, and we kind of got pushed back a little bit though because of that 450 deal. Like, I found a good setting on that, but then I was like, okay, we got to get back on 250. So Thursday, Friday, I kind of spent testing this 250 out, and I feel like we're in a good spot, have a good base. Not really much has changed. Like I said, I did a lot of motos back home, so it's hard to get motos in out here in California with kind of how the tracks and the public are.
All right, we're here with Pierce Brown, and you were third in the East Coast Supercross. I mean, walk us through a little bit how that season went for you. I mean, it was a tough season.
Yeah, it was a tough season. It was a fun one though. It went by pretty quick. Like round 9, I was like, I just feel like I'm figuring this stuff out. But it was a really good season for me. I was just stoked to make it to every single round, make it through the season healthy, and I built every single round. I felt like I ended up with 2 podiums in the last 2 rounds. So I was really stoked on that. My goal for this season was just to be a podium guy. I wanted to win. I got close to it. I didn't get it though, but I'll take it. I ended up with 3 podiums overall, 3rd in the season, and just a really solid year for the first 2 compared to the first 2 Supercross seasons for me. So yeah, hopefully that momentum just carries into outdoors, and then next year I could be the guy to beat.
So, I mean, there's not really much of a break before the motocross. I mean, do you take that time to kind of like reset mentally, reset physically? Are you trying to chill, or are you trying to like build back up? Like, what's getting into motocross? What are your plans?
It's tough because you want to just reset and you want to just take a break, but you can't because outdoors is so like physically just demanding compared to Supercross. Supercross takes a lot more. I feel like it just exerts you more mentally, but outdoors is more physical. So you have to keep that base and you have to keep riding and training and everything like that. But after Supercross, it's hard to because you're kind of beat. So for me, I just try to check out mentally for a couple of days and then just get back to it. But like I said, you couldn't really take too much of a break. There's not much downtime because we had only 2 weeks for the first round. So for me, I was just trying to build a base and just kind of get used to the outdoor swing. It's been tough for me, or not. I shouldn't say tough. It's just been different. I haven't ridden outdoors in freaking feels like a year because I've been on Supercross since last September. So it's been a change, but it's been fun.
So, are you, when it comes to outdoors, obviously the bike hasn't changed. Are you going to go in with the same settings, or does that give you leeway to like, hey, let's just try something crazy, like try a whole different setting because you know you have that base to go back to?
Yeah, we had a pretty good base ending the season last year, and it's the same bike, everything, so we could just go back to that whenever we need to. But we have found a couple new things that we've just kept for a week or 2, a week and a half, and for the most part, I'd say we're close to where we ended off on last year. But like I said, there's a few changes that we made. So overall, I think we're in the ballpark.
I mean, like people evolve as riders, you know, and like, you know, your preferences are as you mature or as you ride more, get more experience. There might be things that you want to try. Do you find that happening when, you know, a new season comes up that you're like, hey, you know what, I think I'm doing this a little differently, and you want to try something else on the bike?
Yeah, one thing I learned throughout the whole Supercross season was how to test. I found out what I liked and what just how to translate my feelings on the bike to the suspension guys, because I wasn't very good at that the first 2 years. So it's not easy. It takes a lot of learning, and I feel like I finally figured that out. And I took what I liked from Supercross and we carried it over to outdoors. And that's one thing that we just changed up. We didn't do more so suspension changes, just like chassis changes, just to cater to what I liked on Supercross. But I feel like that's one thing that I learned through Supercross. And like you said, you do evolve as a rider, and the faster you get, the stiffer you got to set the bike up in areas and stuff like that. So I think we're there right now.
So last question, as obviously one of the younger riders, I'm not the youngest, but you see, how is it seeing like Dungey and Cairoli and kind of these older guys coming back? I mean, do you care, or is it just interesting, or is it like, oh, like I might be able to like retire, take a break, come back? Like, what does that show you?
It is crazy because Dungey, Cairoli, those were the guys when I was like 10, 11. Like it's nuts seeing them come full circle, get back into it, and just seeing them, like for me, seeing them in person, like seeing Cairoli ride in person at Paris the other day was mind-blowing to me. I was just shocked, just because he rides the bike so much different than Americans do. It's just so smooth and so efficient, and I could learn a lot from that. But it is just cool seeing a Euro guy over here. I feel like we don't really see that much. So, and same with Dungey. Like seeing Dungey in person, he was my hero for the longest time. Like it's just nuts being able to ride the same tracks as him and everything like that. Like it's pretty cool. But yeah, for me, like you said, it's kind of crazy seeing how long their career has lasted. And like you said, I'm just in the start of it. So it's cool to see that I can take this pretty far.